Hey there, welcome back to Tuguji channel. Today in this particular course we gonna learn a lot of different things, okay? And this course will not find anywhere on the internet or on the YouTube. So in this particular course we gonna use Google Map and we are integrating with the Next.js, React. Also we are using Tailwind CSS and lot of things. So let me walk through the application first and then we will talk about the technologies. So if you see right, once we land on this page you will see the beautiful map on the right hand side, right? And you will see this beautiful marker, right, which is my current location. It means user's current location. Okay, on the left hand side you will see this beautiful search bar, the navigation bar as well, right? Then you will see this category where you can select any category. For example, if I want to select gas station, I can select gas station as well. And obviously, wow, the places got changed, right? You will see the nearby gas station. Okay, once you change the category on the right hand side as well, you get marker for it, right? And this all these places it's showing on the Google Map as well. If you click any of these particular places, it navigate to that particular business location, as well as it's showing the distance from your current location. Okay, so how sounds cool, right? You can even search it. For example, let's search Walmart and click enter. It will give Walmart near you, right? And see, it's showing Walmart. You can just click it here, you will see it. You will see how far it is from your location. You can even get the direction as well on Google Maps. Once you click on this button, right, this 0.7 mile away, it will navigate to the Google Map and it will show you the direction as well, right? That sounds good, right? Also, if you see, right, if I refresh it, you will get this shimmer effect, right? Let me show you again. See, shimmer effect, I will tell you how to use that, how to integrate it, right? Even though if I change to gas station, it will show you shimmer effect. And lot of different things we're gonna learn in this particular course. You will learn how to generate the API key for the Google Map, how to use Google Map Place API, how to use Google Map Photo API, how to use Google Map, how to integrate with the your React Next.js application. All of these things we are gonna use, and we are gonna style this complete application using the Tailwind CSS. Okay, so guys, watch this complete video, watch this complete course, and you will love this particular course. Okay, and if you have any question, any doubt, let me know in the comment section anytime. Okay, and if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. Also, this particular application is completely mobile friendly. Okay, if I go to the, let me decrease the size, see screen size. If you see, right, it's changing the layout as well. If I decrease the screen size, see, your map is come at the top and the other section is coming at the bottom, right? But if I increase the size, it's coming on the right. See, on mobile view as well, it's completely responsive, right? You have these beautiful navigations. So guys, don't wait, come watch complete video, okay? And you will learn a lot of things, and this project will give you definitely job in the market, because this is the very trending technology which we are going to use in this particular course. So watch complete video. So for this course, we're gonna use this popular React framework called Next.js. Okay, and if you did not know anything about the Next.js, don't worry. I'm gonna teach you everything from the basic, as this is a beginner-friendly course. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna use the Tailwind CSS for our styling. Again, it's quite popular UI library. Okay, and very easy to use, and there are a lot of features that we will learn in this particular course. Okay, in order to integrate the map on the screen, we're going to use this beautiful library called React Google Map API. Okay, also we're going to use hero icon. I'm going to show you hero icon as well. Okay, how to use this beautiful icon library without installing the library in your application. Then we're gonna use this Google Map API, the official API, and I will teach you how to generate the API key, and then how to integrate in our application. Okay, so we will use this Google Map, then we will use the places, the photo API, and lot of things. Okay, and Next.js we will not only use for developing the UI side thing, but with the help of Next.js we will build the API as well. Okay, so guys, Before doing any further delay, let's begin. So, in order to create a project, we are going to use Next.js. As you know, Next.js is one of the best React framework currently in the market right now. And if you don't know about anything about Next.js or React, don't worry, I'm going to teach you everything from the basic, as this course is completely beginner friendly. And in order to create the next project, we have this command npx create next application. Okay, so let's go to your project folder where you want to create the project and open the command prompt by just typing cmd. Okay, so it will open the command prompt. Now just type npx create next app. So this command will help you to create the next application. And once you enter it, it will say, do you want to proceed? Say yes, and it will ask you the project name. So in this case, I will give my find near place. Okay, and the name of the project should be a smaller letter. Okay, and then it will install the dependency like react dom next, because this is react framework, right? And that's the reason it will install all the basic packages of the react. So we'll wait for a few seconds, and if you see, our project is get created. Okay, now let's go to your project folder by just typing cd find near place, and now you are in the project folder. And in order to open your project in a vs code, just type code space dot. Okay, and it will open the vs code for you. So it open it my on my second screen. Okay, and you see our project is open in vs code. Now let me explain the folder structure for this next.js. Okay, so first folder is node modules. Is all the dependency which is written in the packet.json are installed in the node modules. Okay, so right now we will not touch to the node modules. In future also we are not going to touch node modules. Then one of the important folder called pages. Okay, so whenever you go to the your url, right, the default page will open on the particular url is index.js. Okay, and whatever folder or file you created in the pages folder, sorry, it will be create automatic routing for you. Okay, if you create a folder call or a file called user.js, then your url will be like url.com slash user dot just user, and that user page will open using the user.js. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you everything, so don't worry about that one. Then we have public folder. In public folder we will keep all the assets like images or file font, okay, whatever. Then we have styles folder, and this is a global.css. So global style, if you want to apply to throughout the application, you can keep this in a global.css. And this home model.css is just for the specific file or component. Okay, then just ignore this file. Then we have this next.config.js, where all the next related configuration we will save it here, and I'm gonna teach you how to use it. Okay, because we need and we are going to update this config.js as well while working on the project. Then we have packet.json, and where it all the dependency is getting installed. Okay, so as a beginner, we are not gonna touch this packet.json until and unless it's very much necessary. Okay, you can even change your name of project from here. Okay, it's up to you, but other than that, we are not gonna touch. Okay, let's run the project. Okay, so just go to the run, and sorry, go to the terminal and create a new terminal. So it will open a new terminal in a vs code only, and just type npm run dev. Okay, and as soon as you type it, if you see, right, our server is started, and it's using the let me open it. Okay, so right now it's using this port 3011 3001. Okay, so by default sometimes it open 300, but my port 3000 is already is in use. That's the reason it automatically open 3001. Okay, so let's open this 3001 portal, and if you see, it's loading. Okay, and if you see, our home page is display on the screen, right? This is the default page when you create the application. And if you go to the pages in the index.js, right? Here you will see the page. Okay. So this is a title. If you see, this title is coming here, right? Create next app. Let me remove this one. We don't want it right now. And if you see, we have this welcome to Next.js, right? Welcome to Next.js. If you want to select that, welcome to Tube Guruji, okay, and save it, you'll see welcome to Tube Guruji is changed to this one, right? And as soon as you save it, it will automatically load it, right? You don't need to refresh the screen. So that's the reason React is quite famous, okay. And right now, if you want to remove the code, right, you can just remove, because we are not going to use this particular code. So let me remove this one as well and then save it. Okay, so right now I clean everything, I deleted everything, and right now it's showing blank. Now next, install the Tailwind CSS. Now just go to the Google and just search Tailwind CSS for Next.js, okay, and it will open the very first link. So here some of the steps we need to follow in order to integrate or install the Tailwind CSS in our project. So first thing is, they are telling us to create a project. We already created the next project, okay. Then we have to install these two dependencies. Just copy these two dependency, go to your terminal, add new terminal here, and just paste these two lines and click enter. So once you execute these two line, it will create two new files, okay. So if you see on the left hand side, once the command executed, this post css and tailwind.config.js, these two files get created, okay. Next step, we have to add this particular code in tailwind.config.js. So I will copy it, go to tailwind.config.js, and let me here paste it like this, okay, and save it. If you come down, the fourth point is to add this three line of code in global.css. So in styles, we have global.css. Add anywhere you want. I will add it on the top and save it, okay. And just need to run the project now, right? In order to test it, I will copy this one, okay. And if you go to index.js, right now we don't have anything, just paste it here like this, right? So here in the class name, right, it added the text size of 3xl, then font is bold and is underlined, right? And if you hover on this one, it will show you the corresponding css styling, okay. So if I hover on font bold, it's nothing but a font weight 700. If I hover on text 3xl, so yeah, 3xl nothing but the font size of 30 pixel, line height of 36 pixel, kind of thing, okay. It's quite easy, and you can just go to the documentation of Tailwind CSS and you will get to know. Now once you save everything, right, just stop our server and just run the project again. So just type npm run dev, and it will open, it will run our project, right? So let's refresh the project. So guys, if you don't know about Tailwind CSS, right, and if you find anything, you want to do anything, right, just go to the Tailwind CSS documentation and just search whatever you want, and you will find it easily. Now, if you see, right, the hello world is printing on the screen, and this is the Tailwind CSS classes we applied, and is applied to this text as well. It means we successfully integrated the Tailwind CSS. So if you see this particular application which you are going to build, right, on the left hand side we have navigation bar, right, and right now we start with that one, and then we'll go to develop this complete screen, right. And if you see, this complete screen is divided into two sections, okay. One is to show the business list and one is for the map, okay. So let's first develop this particular navigation bar. And also one more thing, I added this in public folder. I added the all the assets, images, and everything. Right? If you see here, this all things I added in a public folder, so I can easily access it. And you can access it through the source code. So the link is in the description. You can check anytime. Now, in order to develop the navigation bar, first of all, I'll create a new folder called components, right? And we have to make sure the name should be similar to this one, right? The component, so that we can easily apply the Tailwind CSS. If you are creating new project with your custom name, make sure to add that in tailwind.config.js file. Okay, so let me create a new folder called components, and inside the component I will create a new file called side navbar.js. Right now, this is a small section of the complete page, right? And that we want to put it. Also, if you don't did not watch my previous video, each of the video I told you that we need to install this component called react. Let me open in this one big screen, the ES7 plus React Redux snippet tool, right? It will help you to add the default template within a few click. Okay, I will explain it how. And also make sure to install the Tailwind CSS Intel Sense. Okay, so this is the official extension from the Tailwind CSS team, and that also very important in order to get the um, value for Tailwind CSS, right? You will get some idea. I will explain it how, right? So now once you install the React extension for the VS Code, and if you type RFC, which is the React function export component, and click it, so if you see, the template is get created automatically. You don't need to write every time from the scratch. Okay, so that is very very helpful. Now once we add this side name bar, right, and save it, go to your pages folder, and we have this index.js, right? Here we will add that particular um, component, which is the side nav bar, right? And if you see, it is importing from the component slash side navigation bar, and save it, right? Once you save it, make sure it's imported. And then now if you go to your let me go to our file, and if you see, side navigation is displaying on the screen. Okay, now one more thing, if you see, right, this part it's showing some space, right? Because in global.css, or you just go to the index.js and just remove this styling from here like this, and if you see, it's working, it's showing in the corner. Now let's go to the side navigation bar, and let's start developing the side navigation bar now. Okay, so here, first thing, I will define the menu, right? Because we have the two options right now, the search bar and favorite bar, right? So let me paste it here like this. Okay, so first is I give the unique ID for each of them, then I give the name. Okay, and this is the logo. So this is the actually the path. Let me show you how, from where I took it, right? So we are going to use the hero icon in order to display it, right? And if I copy any of the icon, right, say just copy JSX or switch, whatever, and when you copy, it will look like this, right? So over here, if you see this d value, right, this d value I copied here, so that when we render it, right, we can render it direct this component. I will show you how it works. Once you are added this menu, go to this div. Okay, and here first of all we will add the image. Okay, so we are going to use the Next.js image. Okay, so if you see Next.js image, it's similar tag like HTML image tag, just we are using a Next.js, so we are going to use their own Next.js tag. Okay, and all other is similar. So image source, we have to provide the source, right? So in this case, we already have the logo in our local, so you can just access, just type slash and name of the file. So in this case, logo.png. Okay, then we have to give alt tag like logo, then we have to give width. So in this case, I will give width, for example, 50, then give height of 50, and then save it. And as soon as save it, you will see the logo is displaying on the screen. Okay, now let's iterate this particular menu. Okay, so in order to iterate the value from the array list, right, you have to give it in curly braces, then give the menu, then you have to map it, right? And they say item, and in order to display value, right, make sure the array function need to be in the circular bracket, not the curly braces. Okay, and here I will define this particular svg value, right? For example, if I copy this jsx, paste it here like this, right? Let me remove this and paste it here. Okay, and now you can just remove this d value from here. Okay, let me put it down here. So this is little bit is you can do whatever you want, right? This is just way that I'm doing it. Okay, and you can just write item dot logo. Okay, and as soon as type it, save it, let's go back to our application. If you see, the two logo is showing on the screen. Okay, now let's give some class name to this one. Okay, so I will apply some styling. Let me go to this class name. If you see, we have this class name. Okay, so I will change width to 10, height to 10 as well, so it will be a little bigger. And then on hover, right, I will add the text to be in the purple color. Okay, and the value, if you see, right, that's the reason. If you go to this, right, you will get the suggestion because of that particular extension that we installed for the Tailwind CSS. Okay, and on a hover, if I save it, you see, if I hover on it, right, we'll change the logo, the color of this particular logo, right? Also on hover, I want to change the background, right? So I will just type background, then the purple background I want to put, and then the value of the background, right? And if you see, if I hover it, we'll see the background, right? Let's add some styling to this as well. There's some padding, cursor pointer, and I will make the corner to be rounded, so be large maybe. Okay, and you will see how beautifully it's looking, right? If I hover it, it's change the color of the icon. Okay, perfect, that's what we want. Now let's apply some styling to this div. Okay, so first of all, I will give some padding to be 2. Okay, and make sure to be item to be in the center, so let's just say item to be in the center. Okay, make it flex. So once you make flex, it coming horizontal, right? We want the flex to be column, so it will become as vertical. Okay, and then you can give width of 100 pixel, so it will be in the left side, right? Because we don't want the full screen occupying the full screen. Then just give some space on the y-axis, actually space on the y-axis to be 9, so it will give some distance like this, right? So you can change it according to your need. Okay, so like 4, let's see. Okay, that's fine. Then I want to show the shadow, so just type shadow md, so it will give the shadow, right? And let's say shadow I want in purple color, so you can just type shadow, the color, and the color code for this one. You see, it's coming, right? Then the height, I want complete height, right? Just type the height will be full screen, and it will show the full screen height, right? But if you get the content right, it will movable, right? So we want to be a sticky, so just type sticky and just write top 0. Okay, so background is, we need to put white because right now it's transparent, so just type background to be white. Okay, and I will also give gen index 20, so it will be at the very top, right? If some container comes, it will be on the top, and save it. And now see, our logo is almost done, right? Perfect. So this how easily with the help of Tailwind CSS we added this side navigation bar. Okay, next we will divide this particular screen into two parts, and we will start developing the our home screen as well. Now let's implement the home screen, right? So let's go to this index.js, and after the side navigation, right, add div. Now we want to divide the screen into two sections. Okay, when the screen is smaller, we'll show first at the top and second at bottom, and when the screen is larger, we'll show left, one is left and one is on the right. Okay, and let's do it here. Okay, so first of all, on this side, right, on the left side, we'll add the business list, and then I want to add the Google map as well, right? So let me add Google map here. Okay, and we'll add div for the business list, so let's define business list, and one div for the Google map. Okay, Google map. Now if you see, right, this this thing, this Google Map and business is showing here, right? Because we already give this height to the screen, right? And after that it's showing. So in order to fix it, for this parent div, let's say flex, and see it's coming at the top. Okay, now let me format this so it will be looks good. Okay, now for this div, right, we have to define as a grid. And as soon as define grid, it's showing like this in two section, right? Now obviously initially, when the screen size is smaller, we will define the grid column only one column. Okay, but when the screen size is medium or larger, we want to show two columns. Okay, like this, and save it. Now as soon as I increase the size, see Google Map is showing on the left side business list, and on the right we have the Google Map, right? And that's what we wanted. Now next, let me go back here. Okay, so what I will do, on this size, right, I will give some styling here. So let's give padding X on the 6. Okay, then when the screen size is medium, we'll give padding X to 10. Okay, and I want to give full width. Okay, and let's save it. Let's click here, and you see it's perfectly designed, right, on the left business list Google Map, and equally divided, right? And also I will give some margin from the top to be 10. Save it, right, like this. See? Perfect. So I hope you understand how we divide the screen. Now here, instead of this business list, we will replace it with the actual component. Now let's add the search bar like this, right? If you see here, we have the search bar with the icon and all, right? So in order to add the search bar in the components folder, let's create a new file called searchbar.js. Okay, add the default template by typing rfc, click enter, and the default template is created. Inside the pages we have this index.js, right? Make sure to save the search bar, and inside the business list section we will add the search bar component. So make sure to add search bar, and make sure it's importing from the slash component slash search. Okay, and save it. So as soon as I save it, it's showing the search bar as a text, because in search bar we just have the search bar. Okay, now go to the hero icon, and let's search for the search icon. If you see here, right, it's showing magnifying glasses. Copy the JSX and just remove this one and paste it here like this. Okay, as simple as that. Now, oops, sorry. So now if you go to our folder, let's save this one, and see search icon is coming, right? After that, let me put this in one line. After that I will add the input. Okay, so add the input of type is equal to text. Okay, and I will also add the placeholder. So add placeholder, so say search, and save it. See, it's showing, right? Now bring everything together. So I will add a class name to flex. Okay, so it will be in one line, and I will also add the gap of, for example, 3. Okay, so it will give some distance. Now add some background color. So just add background of purple, and I will give 100. Okay. So you see it's showing white because this input has background white. So just change the input background to transparent. So add the class name, say background to be transparent, and see it's work, right? After that, just give some padding. So I will add the padding of 3. Okay, and also I will make the rounded corner to be like excel rounded. See, our almost our search bar is ready, right? Now if I click on search bar, right, you will see this border, and also it's just width is not completely full, right? So in the class name just say outline none. Okay, as soon as I say outline none, this border will gone, right? Also just mention width to be full. Okay, so once you make the width to be full, whenever you click here it will be in the text box only. And I will also increase the size to text size to be 70 pixel, just little bit, not so much. And let's change the placeholder color, right? So right now it's gray, so I will change the placeholder purple color I want to give. 400. Okay, perfect. And for this icon as well, I will change the color. So let's add the color here. So I will change it to text purple, because this icon it acts as a text only. Okay, and here I will also give 400 color. Okay, and see, our search bar is almost ready. Now one more thing we will cover here, right? Once you type it, right, uh, in you, if you don't know, right, we have this on change method, right? And for this input, and whenever the text change, this on change will get executed, right? For example, if I console this on change and just type, here we have the event e, and in order to get value we have to type event e dot target dot, sorry, dot value. Okay, it will print the value. So let me show you to you. Remove this one. Let me go back to the inspect panel. Okay, in the console, let's clean everything, and as soon as I type you guruji, see, for every word it's executing line, right? And at the last we get the final result, right? But we don't want that one because we don't have button, right? On this this kind of thing works when we have button, and when you click button you can see this, the last value means the current value, right? So in order to uh, change this, right, you can have another method called on key down, right? Whenever the key is down we'll execute it, but only when we have the key called enter. So I will give e dot key. Okay, means event dot key is equal to enter. Okay, and then only I want to consolidate the value. So e dot target dot value, right? So e dot target dot value, and save it, right? Let me go back to a project, click the console, let me clean this one, and if I type subscribe, right, sure, it's not printing, but as soon as I click enter, see, subscribe is printing, right? I'm clicking enter button here, right? If, see, okay, this is how it works, right? This input text has a lot of different methods. Let me show you more, right? So it has on change, right, on change capture, on click, on composition start, a lot of methods. You can try it whenever you want, right? On copy, on cut, and a lot of things. But I hope you understand how it works, right? And this is how we can call the function, right? Right now it's called inline function because we write in a same component. We did not create a different method and calling that method. But if there is a complex structure, obviously we need to create a method and then we will add the logic there. But right now it's very straightforward. Okay, after when we are starting implementing this particular search bar functionality, then we will replace this console log with the actual logic. Okay, I hope you understand this one, and if you have any question, let me know in the comment section, guys. Now if you extend it, right, and you will see it's touching to this particular search bar, right, means we need to give some space. So if you go to this index.js, inside this div I will give some gap of 8 between these two items, right? And as soon as I give the gap, if you see, we got the space, right? That's what we want. Next, if you see our application, right, we have this category section, right? So we will add that one. So let's go back to our project. Okay, let me get this side, and inside the components we will create a new file called categorylist.js. Okay, and add the default template, and make sure to add the index.js after the search bar. So I will add the category like this and save it. Now it's showing on the screen. Now inside this category list, right, I already have some category listed, right? So I will just add it in our project. So create one new folder called shared. So let me create at the root share, sorry, share. Okay, and inside share I will create a folder called data.js. Okay, And inside this data.js, I will add the list of category like this. Okay, so it has a id, name, and some value. I will explain what is value, and the icon, right? So that icon is we are getting from the local. Okay, so in public folder I already put this icon, and make sure to export this one so it will be accessible throughout the application. So just type export default, and inside that I will add the category list data and save it. Right, now let's go back to our category list, and here defines constant, then categories category, then set category, and here we'll define the state. So this is the use state inbuilt hook of the React, and it will hold the value for you, and it will also set the value for you. Okay, and then I will define use effect, which is the inbuilt React hook. And this use effect is very important whenever you want to execute something. Whenever the component is load, you can define in use effect. But if you define like this use effect will get executed each every instance, right? Means it will execute infinite time. In order to avoid that, you have to pass the empty value, empty array, and then once you define empty array, it will only execute once this app component get load, right? And whenever you want to execute use effect some value change for some variables value change, then you have to define that variable name here, right? I will explain it later in this particular course. Now in order to set the category value, set category, and inside that you have to access that data first. So just type data. So if you see data is coming, I'm going to share data dot, we have the list of categories, so category list data, and save it. Okay, now here define the h2 tag. Oh, sorry, define the h2 tag, and inside the h2 tag you can just type select your favorite category. Okay, and let's give some styling. If I save it, it's showing on the screen, but let me give some styling to this one. So just type class name, and inside that we can use text of 20 pixel. Then I will give some margin from the top to 3. Then I want font to be bold, margin top 3, font to be bold, and oh sorry, and then I will give the margin bottom as well, and save it. So you see it's showing on the screen. Okay, next we want to iterate this list of category, right? So we define one div, and inside that I will iterate this category. Okay, so just type category dot map. Inside that we have item. Okay, and in the arrow function we will define the value. Okay, so right now if I save it, you will not see anything on the screen, but let's display the name of the category. If I save it, right, and it's showing the name of the category, right, because I just type item dot name. We have to, you have to very make sure that you are using this circle bracket instead of curly. Okay, when we are using this arrow function and mapping the value. Now what we'll do, we will put the item, the category item, in different components. So I will create a new component here called cat oh, sorry category item dot js. And let's add the default template, save it, and add that category item here. So remove this one, and here add that particular component called category dot item, right, and save it. So we have two category, that's the reason this category item is good two times, right? So why we are destructuring this particular component, because we can easily maintain it, and you can easily use this particular component multiple times, right? You don't need to write code every time. So that's the reason we created separate component. Now once you create this category item, let's make sure you have to pass this item to this category, right? So what you can do, you can say category is equal to item, right? So I'm passing this item as a category to this category item, and here you can accept it like this category. Okay, now we have the category here. So this category contains only one category. Okay, now let me remove this one and let me add the image first. Okay, so make sure you can add the image from the next slash image, add the source, and inside that you can add category dot icon, right? Like this, because in category we have the icon. Then add the alt tag. So let's say alt tag, you can give the category name as alt tag. So just write category dot name. Then you can give width of, for example, 35, height of 35. Okay, and save everything. So if you see right, cannot read property of undefined, we got the error. So let's go back to category list, right? And here sometimes the category list value is not set, right, and still is trying to access it. So in order to avoid it, you can wrap this in a category. So category, if you have the category, then only execute this line of code, otherwise show null, and then save it. So as soon as save, the error is gone, right? So make sure what happened whenever you set the value for this particular state, it will not set immediately, or it set immediately, but before that this particular line of code is executed, right, and it's try to check whether the category is there or not. Another way you can do, you can just write this question mark, and that also work. Okay, now you are in the category item. Let's add the name of the category. So I will just add the category dot name and save it. Right, now we have the name of the category as well. Let's add some styling to this one. So I will add the text of 12 pixel. Okay, and the text of purple color. So I will add the text of, sorry, text purple color of maybe dark color. I want to add 700. Save it. Okay, like this. Okay, now let's style this particular div. So add the class name. First thing I will do the flex, so it will be in vertical line, but I want flex column, so it will be below this one. Okay, let me check. Okay, and then make sure to make item to be center. Okay, next we have to do the background color of it to be purple 100. I will do it. Okay, and it will look like this, so give some padding. Okay, then we have to give the rounded to be I will give rounded to be 2xl. And I think that's all we can do it here, right? Now the thing is, it should be wanted in our horizontal line, correct? So what you can do, go to the category list, and inside here, inside this div, add the class name. Okay, and inside that one, you can define the flex. Okay, as soon as define flex, it will be in vertical line. Now give some gap of 6 like this. Okay, and I will also give some, make sure to back give some padding at the bottom. Okay, perfect. Now your category is showing on the screen. Now if you see our application, right, which we are going to develop, on hover it gives some animation effect, right? It's getting scale little bit. So let's go to category item, and inside this particular class I will do on hover, right? So whenever you the move cursor on that one, let me remove this one. On hover we want to scale the size of this particular item, so I will scale it to 105. And for the smooth transition I will do transition all. Okay, but right now if you hover on it, right, let me save it. See, it's hovering, right, but it's not smooth, right? So in order to be smooth animation, make it transition all. Oops, it should be all. Okay, and now save it. If I hover it, see, it's smoothly hovering, right? Also you can define some duration, how much duration you want, and let make the cursor pointer and save it. See, it duration is quite slow. I will make it fast, 100, and now this is look good. Okay, now you can add as much as category you want it here. If I add it here another category, okay, comma 3, and save it. See, one more category added. right? You can change name, logo, and everything, whatever you want. For now I will keep two. And let's go to inspect panel, just check do we you have any error like this, right now we don't have. But one more thing, you might get one error called key issue, right? So let's go to category list, and here inside this category item, right, here define the uh, key value, right? So key property you have to define, and this key property need to be unique. So I will add the index here. So index will be 0 1 2, how many list you are displaying, and I will pass it here, so it will be unique. Okay, perfect. I hope you understand this particular section, guys. There are a lot of things we are going to develop this particular course. And if you are new on my channel, so please subscribe to my channel if you did not subscribe to my channel yet. And please like button for this particular video, and watch a lot of video like this if you want to learn React Native and a lot of things. So keep watching this video. Now let's implement this top nearby places. Okay, so this once we click on this any category, the related response will get it here, right? So these are the places nearby. So this is nothing but a business list. Okay, so let's go back to our project, and in the index.js, right? So here we will add that list of business. Okay, so first of all, in the components I will create a new component called business list.js. Okay, and inside that I will add the default template called business list template and save it. Now inside the index.js we will add the business list component. Okay, so I will paste it like this, business list. Okay, comment this one, I will remove this one. So just to make sure everything is good, category list like this, and this is the search bar. Let's add the business list component. So business list like this. Okay, make sure it's imported from the component slash component list. And this is our component. Let me save it. And sorry, so let me save it, let me refresh the screen. Okay, so it's showing here the business list as a text, because in business list we only have one text. Okay, now here I will define the h2 tag. Okay, and similar to the one which we have. Okay, so here just type the business list. Okay, so we can type like top nearby places. Okay, and if I save it, you will see it here, right? Let's give some styling. So class name at text top 20 pixel, then margin top to 3, font to be bold. Okay, and margin bottom I'll give to 3, and save it, right? And if you see, it's working perfectly fine. Also, if you see here, right, we have this arrow, right? And if I click on this one, right, I'm getting this previous arrow as well, right? So if I click next, obviously if you want to go to the previous one, you can go back, right? So that one can also, we can add it here. So for that one, sorry, I will add the span like this, and inside of the span tag I will add that logo. So let me go to the hero icon, and if you see, right, let me scroll down little bit. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, this one. So first thing, we want the left button, so I will paste it here left, and then I will paste the right as well. Okay, like this. Let me format the document. Okay, now if I save it, it will look like this, right? So to bring everything in one line, make this h2 tag as a flex. Okay, and we want flex. Let me see what's the issue. Okay, so let me, so here as well, just write class name to be flex. Okay, As soon as you mention clicks, it will come like this. Okay, and make sure you will wrap these two icons inside this s2 tag. So I will put this span tag in between this s2 and save it, right? So it will come like this, and make this to be item to be center, so it's vertical, it will be a center. Okay, now for this span tag, okay, first of all I will make mark this as a justify between, so we will get distance means this will be at the end. Okay, and now let's give some class, update the class name here, right? So I will first increase the height, okay, because we are going to give some padding. So I will give padding of 2, then make the text to be in the gray color initially. So I will give gray 400 like this. Okay, and then on hover, right, I want to change text color to purple 500, and then on hover as well I want to add the background, so I will add the background of purple color. Okay, and then save it. So if I hover on it, see, it's working fine, right? Also I will make the cursor pointer and counter to be rounded, so rounded I will give the large and save it. And if I hover on it, see, it's perfectly working fine. Same thing, I will copy it and paste it for the second icon. Okay, like this, and save it. Both icon is working fine. Okay, now the next thing, right, only one for initially, once the data load, right, we want to only show this right icon, and once the right icon is clicked, then we want to show the second icon as well, right? So for this one I will define one constant called count. Okay, you can name whatever you want, and it will set count, and it will be your state. Okay, and initially the count is 0. Okay, so the method we can write if count is less than or equal to 0, then show this when the count is greater than or equal to 0, then only show this xvg icon. Okay, otherwise show null. Okay, and save it. Now if you see, it's changed, right? But we need to add one more condition. Once you click this one, we need to increase the count, right? So on click, so I will add the on click method for this icon. So on click, and we will add the set count, right, and I will increase the set count to maybe say count plus 1. Okay, so in existing we can just add 1, and then save it. And the same logic we can add, but sorry, just copy this one, but here I will add it, the logic here, but in this case it's previous, right? So I will do minus and save it. Now if I click this one, see, that is coming, right? If I click again, it will go back, right? So it's perfectly fine. Obviously we need to change some logic here, depends on the list of business or places we are going to show, right? But right now we are okay with that one. Okay, now let's add this business item here, right? And obviously if we have the list of businesses, and then we have to iterate that particular business list, right? But before that, let me create a new file called business item. Okay, so we'll call business item.js, and in that we will add the each business ui, right, each of the item for that one. So this is a business item, let me add it in a business list, right? So after this h2 tag, add div tag, and inside that we will add the business item. Okay, so let me write it here, business item. Okay. And now we have the business item. If I save it, if you see, it's coming, the business item is coming on the screen. Okay, now go to the business item, and let's start adding the business item for this one. Okay, so first of all we'll add the image. Okay, because we have this image on the left, so we'll add the image. So make sure you are importing from the next/image at the source, and for now I will use the local image. So in my public folder, right, I have the image called placeholder.jpg, so I will just access placeholder folder.jpg. Okay, and this is for the only for dummy, this is dummy information, right? Then we will replace it with the actual data which we are getting from the Google Map Place API. Okay, then I will add the alt tag. So in the alt tag I will add the uh, business image. Then I will give the width of 90, height of 90, and let's save it. Okay, so as soon as you save, you'll get this beautiful placeholder for the image. Okay, now I will add some class name to this one. So let make the corner to be excel. Okay, like this, and make sure to object need to be cover. Okay, so we have different type of option. Can give height, so maximum height I can use like 100 pixel, width 100 pixel, and save it. Okay, perfect. Next, we need to add the business name and the business information, right? So add it in one module. So we have the name of business, address, then we have the star, which is for the rating, and the number of rating, right? So inside this div, let me add the one h2 tag, and let's add the business name. So here business name will come. Okay, then next we have business. So this I will write address, and after I will add one div for the star, right? So I will get the star from here. So just search for a star. Now I need solid star. Okay, so I will copy this JSX and let me paste it here like this. Okay, and then bring this one line. Okay, and then we have the rating. So I will say 4.5 like this and save it. Now it will look like this, right? So now let's bring this everything in one line. So for this I will say class name and make it flex. So once you make it flex, it will be in one line, right? After that, give some gap. So let's give gap of 4. Okay, and then give some padding as well, padding of 3, right? Now what we'll do, I want to make the border at the bottom. Okay, so let's add that one. So oops, sorry, so I want border at the bottom, and then I'm providing the size. So obviously if I adding the size in between the square bracket, it means I'm giving the custom size. Okay, obviously Tailwind CSS also provide their own size, but sometimes if you want your own customized size, you can give in a square bracket. Okay, then add the border of purple color. So I will give purple border, and if I save it, it will look like this. Okay, here I will give some margin bottom to be 4. Okay, and then what else we want, uh, make sure to make item to be in center. Okay, so it will be in the center, and let's add the stars. Let's add some styling to this rating. So class name to be flex, so it will be in one line. So give some gap of 2, and then let me bring this down for this one, right? The star, for the star I will change the color, right? So let's give text to be yellow. Let's add text yellow 500. Okay, and I will change this width and size to be 4, much big. Okay, 5 is okay, and make sure item to be in the center. So vertically it will look center. Okay, so for the business name, let's add some styling. So class name, say text of 20 pixel, and the font I will give the semi bold. Okay, and save it. See, it's work. And for this one as well, I will decrease the font size. So I will give 15 pixel. I will give the text to be gray. Okay, and save it. Perfect. And if you see, this one is look good, this one is also look good, right? Also padding, here I give 0. I don't know why. We need to change some padding, so I will give padding of maybe 3. Okay, yeah, it's look good now. Okay, now we have padding. If you see, it's similar to this one. Okay, now obviously once we got the data from the API, we will replace this on all the business name and address with the actual data, right? Now our business item is also almost ready. Now if you see, right, obviously if you have multiple component like this, right, if I save it, see, it's coming like this, correct? But one more thing, obviously we will add it that later on. uh, in this example, right, the app which I already created, I'm just showing top three at the start, right? And then if I click next on that one, right? So first of all, if you see, right, three item is showing on the next button, then next three item like this. So it's kind of pagination only, right? So same thing we are going to implement here once we get the actual information. So I hope you understand until this part. And if you have any question, any doubt, let me know in the comment section, and I'm happy to help you, or you can message me on my Instagram channel as well. Okay. So in this section, we will generate the API key for our Google Map and Google Places, and also we will enable the service for the Google Place and Map. So just search for the Google Place API on Google, and you will find this very first link. Okay, open that link. So this particular API or service is completely free. Okay, and if you want to see, go to the pricing section, and here you will see that Google is providing $200 of monthly uses. Okay, and that is more than sufficient to test it, try it, or everything else, right? And if you see, right, if you are using the static map or some, let's maps for JavaScript, right? So right now it's giving some charge, but $200 is sufficient for the for your use, or for as doing as a hobby. Okay, even though on a small scale you can use this API. Now in order to generate the API, just click on this using API keys, and here if you scroll down, right, it will give the step by step guide to how to generate API key for the Google Map. Okay, so just click on this go to credential page, and once you click it, it will jump on the Google Cloud platform. Okay, if you don't know about the Google Cloud platform, don't worry, just follow the step. Okay, so if you jump on this page, and if you are a first time user, just then create account, and then create a new project. Okay, just follow some step and it will create a new project for you. Once you create the new project, open that particular project. Okay, and you will see the bunch of option on the left hand side, right? Here click on the API and services. Okay, and once you click on this one, you will see bunch of option, bunch of services available in this particular section, right? So just search for the places API. So if you see, right, we have two places API. Just enable any of them. So I enable this place API, and you will see this button like this, enable. Just click enable. Okay, and one more API we want, that is maps JavaScript API. This will use to show the map on the screen. Okay, so these two API we need it, enable this one as well. Once you enable these two services, go to the keys and credentials, and let me remove this one, and here you have option to create a credential. Okay, click on that one and you will see this API key. So just click API key, and then after within a few seconds it will generate a new API key for you. Okay, so once the key is generated, it will look like this, right? And you will see this API key here. Okay, you can use this API key anytime. Means even though if you add five different services, this API key is sufficient for them. You don't need to generate every time. Okay, and you can restrict this API key as well. Okay, so for some website or for some restrict key, you can select the which API you want to restrict or everything, right? It's up to you. But right now I will keep as it is and don't copy my API key. Okay, and once you generate this API key, copy it, and then go to your project. So let me go back to my project. Okay, and here just create a new file called .env, right, where we will place our API key, so that it will not accessible to anyone except you. Okay, so make sure don't use API key directly. So once you create .env file, just paste it like here, right? Like, so I will give the name Google API is equal to, and paste this API key and save it. Okay, Now your API keys you save. So if you have any issue to generate the API key, let me know in the comment section. I can help you definitely, or you can message me personally on my Instagram channel. Okay. So now we are ready with the API key. Next, we will fetch the places or business list from the place API, and this API key we will use to pass to that particular API, and then we will generate it. Okay. So now we successfully generated the API, right? Let's try to get the some idea about the how to call the place API, right? So if you go to this documentation of place search, you will see if you scroll down, right, you will see this three different option to find the place, to place detail or place autocomplete, right? Go to this find place, right? And inside this find place we also have this nearby search. Right now we want nearby search once user search something, right? So all nearby places will be visible. We will get this all the places nearby, right? So for that one, go to this nearby search, and here is the URL to how to call that particular nearby search, right? If you scroll down, it gives some example how to call it, right? So in this case, right, you have to write this particular URL, then you have to pass the keyword, then the location, some radius, in how much radius do you want, the type you can pass, okay, though you want restaurant type or gas station or grocery, something like that. And then you have to pass the API key which we generated before, right? And this is how you will get the response in the JSON format. Okay. And here is the different types, right? Okay, the places you can find. So there are a lot of things. Okay. So make sure we are gonna use this particular URL in order to call this Google Place API, right? So let's go back to our project, and we are using this API folder, right? Inside the pages we have this folder called API. Inside that, this is default page called hello.js, right? And this is how it works, right? It's quite simple. If you go to the new tab and just type localhost 3001, that is our main homepage, right? Default one. If you go to this URL slash API slash hello, right, and enter it, you will see the response, right? Name, which is equal to John Doe, and you see John Doe here is here, right? Because he's returning something. If you change this one, right, subscribe to Tube Guruji, right? If you did not subscribe, subscribe to this Tube Guruji channel, okay, and save it. Now if you refresh this URL, right, you'll see the response coming as a subscribe to Tube Guruji. Okay, so right now we are using this API folder to add our own API, right? So what I will do, I will create a new uh, folder file called Google Nearby Place .js. Okay, I know it's little long, but that's fine. Okay, and then save it. Now inside this we will add the logic. Okay, so first of all, let's define some constant. Okay, and in this case we will add the base URL, which is the URL for our API. So I already have this API, I will copy paste here. Okay, like this. Okay, let me close this one. Then we will add the we'll access the API key as well. So let's like Google underscore API underscore key, which is equal to process.env Google API key, which we stored in a .env file, right? So whatever you stored in .env file, you have to access like this process.env and then a name of the variable. Then write export default, right? This will be a async function, and let's write handler, and this is this handler has a request and result. Okay, like this. Now inside the try block, obviously we'll use the try catch block. Let's write constant response, okay, is equal to await, and we are going to use Axios. Okay, so I don't know why it's not getting okay. So if you did not install the Axios, make sure to import the Axios. So if you go to the Axios http.com, and if you let's say the introduction, here you have to install this Axios. Axios is one of the best HTTP client library in order to fetch data from the any API key. Okay, so just add this, install it. I already install it in my system. I don't think so I install. Okay, let me install this one. So just copy this one, open a new terminal and paste it here. Okay, so this is very important. You can use fetch as well, but I prefer Axios. Okay, now if you install the Axios, as soon as you install it, right, you will get this suggestion as well. Okay, so Axios, right? Now in order to call this API, right, just type Axios, then you have to add the base URL, which is this one, plus you have to add some variable, right? So what I will do, I already have it. I will just copy it and paste it here like this. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I have this base URL, and after that I'm adding this nearby search slash JSON, and what are the field I want in the response that I added. So I want formatted address, the name, the rating, opening hours, etc. Right? After that, I'm adding the category. So what category? It is restaurant or gas station or grocery like this. Then in the location, I'm adding this latitude, right? So request.query means once you pass it, right? For example, in this case, right, hello, and if you pass question mark category, right, and is equal to some value. So in order to get this value, you have to access it like query dot request dot query dot category, right? So this is how you can access it. You'll get to know once we call this API. Then you have to add this request dot query dot longitude and latitude. Then I added this radius, how much area you have to cover, and the key, which is our API key. Okay, and once you got this response, just write constant, sorry, data is equal to response dot data. Okay, and then you have to send this response. So just write response dot status, sorry, response dot status, and then pass 200. Okay, then your data need to be in the JSON format, so write JSON data. Okay, and after that you have to write the catch block. So catch, if there is some error, it will come here. Okay, and just write the error response as well. So what I will do, I will console that error as well. Okay, and just pass error, and I will also pass this response status of this error, right? Just code will be of 500 and error will be like error, and I will pass this error as a value, right, and save it. Once you save it, right, our API key is almost ready. Now in order to test this one, right, what you have to do, you have to let me open this one, right, and I already have some value for this one. Let me, so I, so here, right, our API key is little different. So what will be the API key? Google nearby place. Okay, so just type here Google nearby place. Okay, and then you have to provide the category. So in this case, category is something like gas station, right? And then you have to provide latitude and then some value, right? I don't know the value right now, and then longitude and some value. Okay, and once you call this one, you will get the response. Okay, if you want to test it quickly, what I can do, I will just comment this out, and here I will pass some data colon sample call. Okay, let me do it like this, sample call, and save it, right? And if I refresh the screen, sorry, not this one, Google slash nearby dash place, and if you see, we got the response sample call because we just have this status sample call. It means API, whatever the file we created, right, it is get called, right? But right now we'll add it here like this, and we have to make sure that we are passing correct value in order to work this. Okay, so our Google nearby place API is ready to use it, right? And then once we are ready with this one, we'll just call this particular API in our um, particular application. So now let's call this API, okay, in our application. So I will create a new folder at the root of the application. So we can call services, services, and inside that I'll create a new file called global api.js. Okay, so in that we can add all the API request for our application. So first of all, I will define constant, and it will say get near nearby place. Okay, and it will accept three parameter. One is category, then latitude, and then longitude. Okay, and after that we'll let me yeah, we'll add the axios dot get method. Okay, and then we will add the slash API slash the name of the API, because we already have this API right here. It is so in the pages we have this API, right? So that one we can call it here, and after that the name of the API. So in this case is um, Google nearby place. Okay, so Google dash nearby place. Okay, after that we have to add the category. So add category is equal to add the value. So we have to pass the value which we are going to accept here, right? So in this case category, then plus um, and then we have a latitude. Okay, and we have to pass the latitude value, and last is lng longitude, and then we have to pass longitude. Okay, and that's all. Now this API we have to make sure it is accessible throughout the application. So for that one, just say export default, and here we can add get nearby place like this. Okay, and save it. Now let's call this API in index.js, right? Why index.js? Because this is our default home page, and once this home page is load, right, we will also call the Google nearby place API, and once we call it, we can pass the result to the business list. Okay, so they define one method called constant get nearby place arrow function. Okay, and inside that we will pass the value. So in this case, sorry, call the API global API dot, we'll see the get nearby place. We got this suggestion, right? And then we have to pass the category. So right now I will pass uh, the the dummy, not dummy, but some constant value, right? So in this case I will say gas station. Okay, then I will add the latitude and longitude. Okay, so I will pass the default one. We can, after we tested this successfully, then I will pass the actual one. Okay, then we have the longitude, and this is the longitude and latitude. Okay, like this. Then because this is a promise, we have to use then response. Okay, and in the response I will just console this response like this. Okay, and this get nearby place we have to call it, right? So we will add it in use effect, because once that component is loaded, this use effect will get executed. So I will pass the empty array and just call this here like this. Okay, we might get error, we'll see whether we are getting successfully result or not, right? So right now obviously it will not show anything here, but if you go to the nearby sorry, in console, you will see the object here, see, and if you extend it inside the data, we have the results. Okay, and we got this four result, right? Obviously we will this is the axios http client, and that is the reason once we call this promise, right, then the result should be displayed here, right? And inside the result you will see the bunch of different type of fields, right? So we have the name, you see, quick trip, right? The rating and all of these things, right? The opening hours and lot of things are there, right? And right now we are getting four result. Okay, so now let's save this result in one state. Okay, so let's go back here, right? But before that we have to access the response dot results dot data, right? So because in that we have sorry, it's different, the data and then results. Okay, so it should be first data and then results. Okay, and let's define one state called constant business list comma set business list is equal to use state. Okay, like this. Now in order to set the value for business list, I will add set business list here and just copy it and paste it here like this. Okay, and let's see in the console as well whether we are getting on data or not, right? So let me refresh the screen, and if you see we got this four result 1 2 3 4. Okay, we got one error here, right? The key issue, right? This is because we inside navigation bar, right, we define the menu which we are iterating. So if you go to the component and side navigation bar, here we are iterating the value, right? So we have this item, so let's define the index value as well, which is 0 1 2 3 4, and just say key is equal to index. That what I was talking about before, right, in this particular course. And now let me clean this one, and if I refresh it, this we don't have any error, right? And if you see we got the all the four business list, right, because we pass it as a gas station with the latitude and longitude, and in my area I'm getting this nearby four places, right, within 1,000 meters. Okay, perfect. I hope you understand this, how to call it and everything, right? Now next thing what we can do, let me go back to our index.js, right? So we got and we stored our result in this set business list, correct? Now what we can do, we can pass this business list to this business list component. So just say business list and pass it like this. Okay, so here I will say business list data because otherwise the name should be similar. Okay, to avoid that I will pass it business list data, and inside this business list accept it as a prop, so just like this. Okay, and now we have the business list data. If I console this one, right, let's console the business list data here, right? So right now business list, and I will comment this one because we don't want anymore, and save it. And if I need to clean it, let's refresh the screen, and if you see we got this business list data. Okay, perfect. So if you have any question, any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Okay, next we will iterate this one so that we can show it on the UI screen. Now before moving forward, we successfully console the business list, right? But if you observe in the console, we are getting this means this printing four times, right? If I refresh the screen, and still it's showing four times, right? Which is unnecessary. So in order to avoid that, right, you have to go to the next.config.js, right, and inside here we have this one property called react strict mode, right? Right now it's true, so make it as a false and save it. So you change this config file, right? So you have to stop the server and you have to rerun the application again, right? So what it will do, so whenever you call use effect, right, or when you are passing data from parent component child component, sometimes it execute multiple times, and to avoid that one we added this one. Now let me open here, and if you see we got only once, right? And here as well, because right now it's empty initially, but once we got the data we are getting this result. Okay, I hope you understand this one. Next thing is very important, but let's try to implement or iterate this list of business. So in the business list, right, we receive this data. Okay, now let's add the information. Okay, so first we have image. I will keep this image aside for now. Okay, and then we will add this information. So obviously we have this business item here, right? So let's iterate the value. So here I will define like this. um, Business list data dot map, sorry, dot map. Inside that I will say business and then arrow function. Okay, I will also add the index here. Okay, and let's define div. Inside div I will add this business item. Okay, like this. Now right now in the business list data we have 4 items. Okay, and because of that business item will execute 4 times. If I save it, if you see 1 2 3 4 business item is showing right now. Okay, next we have to pass the business, each business, to this business item. Okay, so add business and again business. Okay, and save it. Now go to the business item and accept it as a business, as a prop. Okay, and save it. Until this point, uh, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. And right now we are good, right? So now let's replace this business name, which is we hard coded before, with the actual business name. So let's say business dot name. Okay, so if you see here, let me, so if we have key issue I will fix that one. But in the business list, if I expand the first element, right, we have the name called business name, right? Means in the business we have this name called quick trip. Okay, that's the reason we access with the help of this property called name. Okay, then we have the address, so we want address, right? So for that one, we have this um, prop field called vicinity. Okay, which include the address. Okay, and then we also have rating. For a photo it's little bit complicated. So if you go to the photo, right, and again inside the photo we have the first element, and this it has a photo reference. Okay, does not include the complete photo url, but in in next 5 to 10 minutes I will explain how to add the photo as well. Okay, but before that let's add the all the property which we have. Okay, so first we have the business dot name. If I save it, you will see the quick trip, BP, Costco gas, and Rushco. I don't know what is this, but it's coming, right? Then we have to add address. So replace this address with the business dot vicinity. I am right. Okay, yeah. You see, it's coming. Right, the address is also coming. And the next is rating. So business dot rating and save it. And you will see we got the rating as well. Perfect. So we added all this necessary information which we want to show on the business. Okay, now if you have any question, any doubt, let me know in the comment section. And that's all guys. So next we will add the image for the business. Now in order to display a photo of a given place or business, we gonna use this documentation which is place photo, right? And it's quite easy. If you scroll down, right, it show how to use this particular api. Okay, and here if you see, this is the url that we need to pass along with the photo reference and the api key. Okay, so the same thing we are going to do in our application. So let's go back to our application. Let me open our project side by side. And here in business item we have to implement it, right, instead of this source placeholder jpg. Before that I created I renamed my .env file with the .env.local. The reason is this google api key, right, I define we are defined early, is used on the server side, right? And another one I added as a next underscore public underscore the name of the api, and that is used on the browser side, right? But you have to make sure that you will use this next underscore public. Only that if you mention this particular word, then only you can access at browser side. Okay, now if you go to this business item, and we can define the key here, right? Okay, so I will say constant google underscore api underscore key is equal to, now you can say process dot env dot next. Let me copy directly here. Okay, this one, like this. Okay, perfect. And now we will replace this one with our image url. Okay, so let me remove this one. Okay, and inside the bracket add this code, and let me copy, I already have this url, and let me copy it here like this. Okay, So this is the same URL which we have here. Okay, this one. Only thing that I did, I'm passing this photo reference. Okay, and this Google API key. Okay, so it will be a Google API key and the photo reference. So we have to define the photo reference at the top. Okay, so let's define photo reference. So constant photo reference is equal to, now we are getting the photo reference from business dot, let me know, dot photos. Okay, dot business. Inside that we have photos of zeroth element dot photo reference. Okay, let me copy this field name like this. Okay, and once we copy it, so in this photo reference we'll get this photo reference, right? I'm making this mark because if it's optional, if it's not there, it will save something. Okay, and let me explain this thing, right? I'm checking first whether the photo is field is there or not. Okay, if it's there, then only I'm showing this photo, otherwise I will show the empty string. Okay, and now this photo reference we are passing here. Okay, now let's save it. Let's go back to our application. Okay, let me clean this one. And if I refresh this one, so right now I don't know why. Okay, so our server is not running. Let me run the server first. Okay, and let me refresh the screen now. So it's quite easy. Okay, how to fetch it, right? So if you see, we got this error called invalid source prop. Okay, and here it's saying host name mac.google API is not configured under image in your next.config.js, right? So let's go to next.config.js, and here we have to add that domain. So let's say images. Okay, inside the image, this particular syntax need to be similar. Okay, and then we have domains field, and inside domain in the square bracket we have to copy this host name and paste it here like this. Okay, this is very important, as I told you in the beginning of the lecture, that we need to configure the next.config.js, and this is how we are gonna update our config.js. Okay, now once you make it right, you have to stop the server and then you have to rerun the server again. Okay, and now server is running. Let me refresh the screen and let me go back to business item. Okay, so let me refresh it, and if you see, we are getting this list of business with the images as well, right? This image is broken, I don't know why. Okay, so that's not our fault, but all other we are getting 4 result and everything is showing on the screen. Okay, perfect. I hope you understand this one, and if you search this business, how to use this business place photo API, you will not find anywhere except this video. Okay, so make sure to watch this complete video with the all new exciting features going to come on this particular course. Okay, so now, first of all, when user open any of this particular category, right, we are showing, we want to show only 3 businesses at the top, and once user click on this next button, then we will show the next 3 businesses. Okay, like that. So for that one, if you go to the business list.js, and here if you remember, we already defined this count, right? So what you have to do, let's come back here. Okay, at the bottom, and here you have to define this, uh, you have to define some condition here. Okay, so the condition is quite simple. So first of all, let's define index. Okay, and we define the count already, right? So we have to check whether index is greater than equal to count. Okay, and we also need to make sure the index is less than count. Okay, and we want to show 3 elements, so plus 3, and okay. So this is the simple logic, we can add it. Okay, let me put it this down like this and save it. So as soon as save, we got this 3 item, right? But when we click next button, right, we have to make sure we'll increase the count by 3. Okay, and same thing we have to make count minus 3 when we did the previous button. If I save it, nothing will get changed, but if I click next, you will see the next business, right? Right now we don't have so many business, but if I click on this restaurant, right, I don't know whether we have the data for the restaurant or not. Okay, but I hope you understand this particular scenario, right? How to use next and previous button. Now next, if you remember, right, we hard coded the value for this list of businesses, right, and we are just passing the type is gas station, right? But we need to implement on the click of this category. We want to pass this information to the API, and then we want to get the latest business depends on the category. Okay, so let's go to index.js, right? And if you remember here, we are passing gas station as a default one. Okay, so on the click of in this category, we have to pass the category value here. Okay, so to implement that one, let's go to category list, and here we have this category item, right? So for this div we will add the on click method. Okay, and for on click method we can add uh, on, or just say set selected category. Okay, and here we have to pass the value, so in this case is item dot name. Okay, just make sure that we are passing correct. Okay, yeah, so it's at item dot name, right? Now this set category, set selected category, we will pass back to our parent child. Okay, like this. So what we do, we set the value, we pass it back to the category list as a prop, and then in index.js we have to accept it here, right? Because here we have this category list component, right? So just accept it here like this. Okay, but before that, once this variable set selected categories change, we have to make sure some function will get called. So in this case, what I will do, when set selected category is called, I will call this method called get nearby place. Okay, like this, and I will pass the value. So I will say category. Okay, let me bring this down. And get nearby place, I will pass this category like this. So obviously get nearby place will call with the value category. Okay, and this category we will replace with this gas station. Okay, and obviously by default here we pass the gas station. When very first time when this component launch, we will get this gas station information. Okay, you can keep it empty as empty. Okay, no issue, but right now I will pass as a gas station and save it, right? If I refresh the screen, now right now I'm getting gas station. If I click restaurant, right, if you see it change, and now I'm getting this all of the different things, right? Restaurants and all. So Papa John pizza and everything. I don't know, some extra is coming, Subway and all. Okay, but that's what means we pass this restaurants. Okay, so if you have more category, you'll get the more result. Okay, so depends on that one. We are getting the particular data about this particular category. Okay, if you have any question until this point, let me know in the comment section, and if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. So regarding this category, we have quick fix, right? So what happened, we pass if you go to this category list, right, here we pass as a item dot name, right? But if you go back to our shared folder, okay, let me find this shared folder. Inside that data we have the value field, right? That value is need to be similar. So instead of name we are going to pass the value, right? So let's go back to the category list, and here I will change to value. Okay, and save it. Now if I change the value, refresh the screen, and now if I click restaurants, now only restaurant I will get it. See, okay, if I go next, say pizza and all everything, right? If I click on gas station, I will only get the gas stations. I don't know why okay, so here we get the gas station. Okay, perfect. So right now if I click zero, right, we have to make sure once you category is updated, you have to change this arrow to the zero, right? So that's challenge for you. It's quite easy. Just to once the category is updated, make sure that you make the count value as a zero. Okay, now let's add the shimmer effect. Whenever we call some API, right, it takes some time to load the data. So in that bit particular time, we want to show user to the loading screen or some type of loading, right? So for that we're going to use the shimmer effect. If you don't know about the shimmer effect, let me show you how it looks. Okay, so if I refresh the screen, right, if you see this effect is coming at the top, right, see again I'm refreshing and this kind of effect is coming. So it's showing that okay, the data is getting load from the internet, right? So in order to add that one, we are going to use Tailwind CSS shimmer effect, right? If I type like this, you'll see this animation first link, right? And if you scroll down, you will see this shimmer effect, right? And this is quite easy to do it, right? It's simple that you have to define some div tag and everything, right? Some Tailwind CSS classes, but we have to make sure that we will add this animate pulse effect, right? So it act like a shimmer effect. So let's implement that one, right? So for that one, in the component I will create a new component. Okay, and then we can call it as a shimmer effect item. Okay, so let's go to here, or we can create a new component as well. Okay, so let me add shimmer effect item .js. Okay, and this is we are going to use only for the business, so I will keep to one only. Okay, and add the default template like this. Okay, so make sure you will import it so that we can also test it. Okay, so in business list. Okay, um for testing purpose I will, after this div, I will add this shimmer effect like this. Okay, and save it. If I go back to our application, you will see, let me refresh the screen, and if you see shimmer effect item is coming. Okay, now add that particular div, right? So as I say, right, if you copy the similar one, okay, and then you can make the change according to your need, right? I will, if I copy like this and paste it here and save it, and if you go by localhost, right, oh sorry, here you see similar effect is coming. Okay, so then you can just update some value. Okay, so what you want and what are the things you don't rate. For example, I don't want this border blue, right? You can remove it, save it, and if you see border is gone. Also, if you don't want shadow, you can remove the shadow, you can remove the border. Okay, then rounded I will say not full, but I will keep excel, right? This kind of thing you can update it, right? So I already updated everything for this one, so I will just paste it here. Okay, so let me copy it and paste it here. Okay, and save it, and this is how it looks. Okay, so it's quite easy. You can if you have any doubt or any issue to implement this one, you can access my source code anytime. Okay, the link is in the description. Now our shimmer effect item is ready. Now let's go back to business list. Here we want to show this shimmer effect three times, right? Obviously you can do like this, right, and show it, right, three times. But let's add the some implementation, right? So what we can do, we can iterate the value for this one. Okay, so it's quite easy. You can say you can define first list. So let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3, then map it. Okay, and obviously this need to be in a bracket like this. Then map item comma index. Okay, and inside that I will add the shimmer effect. Okay, also make sure to add the key is index and save it. Now if I save it, and even though if I refresh it, right, as we are doing three times, our shimmer effect will be displayed three times. Okay, perfect. Now we want to show this shimmer effect only when we call this API. Okay, and then we want to show it, right? But right now this Google API is returning us data so much fastly, right? So what we can do, we can put some delay to give some nice visual effect to the user, right? So what I can do, let's define one state, say loader. You can say set loader, and initial value you can set it as a false. Okay, and okay, or you can make it true, so immediately we will see this effect. And in the use effect, right, pass it empty. Here you can set the set loader to be true, sorry, false, right? But only when um, some interval. So I will add the interval, okay, like this, and I will pass 2 seconds of interval, right? And then I will put this set loader to this one, right? So what I'm doing, after 2 seconds, this loader will be gone, right? Now if I save it, nothing will happen because we did not apply that loader yet. But now here we can put the condition. If there is a no loader, right, means loader is false, then we will show this particular code, okay. Otherwise we will show this line of code, okay. Or we can just put a question mark here like this, okay, and then we will show this loader, okay. Just put the null here, okay, and different loader for this one. If loader is there, then show this one, otherwise show null. Okay, I don't know where we got the error. Okay, now perfect. Okay, and save it. Now you don't see any change, but if I refresh the screen, if you see, the loader is coming, and as I, after 2 seconds it's gone, right? If I refresh the screen, you see loader is coming, and after that the loader is gone. You can set it to 1 or set it to 2, it's up to you, okay. But just it gives some good visual effect. That's the reason this shimmer effect is very important, okay. I hope you understand this shimmer effect is quite interesting, right? So perfect. Now this shimmer effect we also want to add for this change of the category, right? For example, if I change this gas station, right now it's not showing this shimmer effect, right? So what you can do, you can just add the another use effect, right? And here, right, we want to execute this use effect only when the business list data is changed, right? So whenever the list data is changed, this use effect will get executed, right? And here you can add the set loader to be true, okay. And also I want to set this count to 0, so set count to 0, okay, so that our this arrow will be also get initialized, okay, reset in the sense. And now if I change to restaurant is, okay, so right now it's quite quick, but if I change to what like this, right, now you'll see the effect, right? Perfect. That's all. Now, if you remember, right, in order to call this get nearby places, right, we are passing the category, okay, and also we are passing this latitude and longitude. So currently we are hard coded the value, right, the default value, but we need a user's location, okay, so that anyone open this particular website, it will detect their current user location, right? So in order to implement that one, let's go to underscore app.js, and here we will try to get user location, okay. And that user location we will share with the help of context throughout the application, right? So you don't need to define every time when you get the user location, okay. So for that one, let me go inside this one, and here you can define constant, okay, say get user location, and inside this, right, I will add the navigator, okay, oh sorry, navigator dot geolocation, okay. Then you have to say get current position, okay, and it should be a function. It will give the return of position like this, and inside that you will get the position. So let's print the position, okay, and call this get user position inside the use effect, okay. So once this particular component get load, we'll get the user current location, okay, and save it. If I save it, right, as soon as you save it, right, and you will launch on this particular page, it will ask whether you want to allow this location, right? If you see this notification pop-up is came, right, you don't need to do anything for that, right? Browser is taking care of that one once you define this particular line of code. And let me increase the size. let me go to the inspect panel, right? Let me go to console, clean this one, and if say allow, right? As soon as say you allow, you will see this geolocation position, right? And in this we have this coordinates field, and here we will see the latitude and longitude of the current position. So this is my um, address, latitude and longitude. Okay, and if anytime you can go back here, you can uh, disable this location. Okay, so this is how we can access the user location. Now next, the point is how to share this with your all the component, right? We don't want to call this particular line of function or whatever this method every time, right? So in order to do that, we will use the context. So context is very very important concept in the React, right? So let me if you watch my previous video, you will get to know how to use context. Okay, but right now let's define one the file in the root directory called context. Okay, and inside this context I will create a new file called user location context.js. Okay, and here it's quite simple to use. Okay, so here you have to just define the context name. So in this case, just you have to export it, say constant, and here I will say user location context is equal to, you have to say create context, and this is custom context you created, and by default I will pass null value, right? Once you define this one, if you see, right, create context is imported from this React, right? Now if I save it, nothing will get changed. But now let's go back our underscore app.js, right? So over here, first of all, let's define one state. Okay, so I will say constant user location comma set user location is equal to use state. Okay, by default I will pass empty array, and here I will replace this with this code like this. Okay, so I'm just passing the return. Okay, so this need to be here like this. Okay, and save it. So if you see, everything is as it is, right? Now here we have to pass this provider. You have to add provider, right? So first of all, we have this user location context. You see it's coming, right? Dot, you have to add the provider. Okay, just in the tag and wrap this our child component inside this provider like this. Okay, and for this context we have to pass the value. So we define this value, right? So just say value, and inside this one we have to pass this two value, right? User location comma set user location, right? So whenever you want to change the value with the help of set user location, you can change it, and once you change it from any component, it will reflect throughout the application. That's the beauty, that's the magic of this context. Okay, now we pass this value, but we have to set the value for this one, right? It means whatever the latitude and longitude we are getting, we have to set it. Okay, so just you have to define uh, you have to just write set user location. Okay, and inside that what I will do, I will pass the latitude and longitude. So let's latitude, then position dot coordinates dot, see it's automatically coming. So first thing we have to do latitude, and then longitude position dot coordinates dot, and we have longitude. Okay, now we have the value of this one, and this will automatically set once we uh, call the save one, right? Now if I save it, if you see anything is changed or not, right? I know nothing will get changed and it's showing as it is. Okay, now in order to let's access this particular context in the index.js, right? Because in index.js um, we want this latitude and longitude, correct? So here in the constant, right, let's access our context. So in this case you have to use this curly braces. Okay, and then you have to write user location comma set user location is equal to use context. Okay, here you have to say use context, and which context you want to use, you have to pass it here. So in this case is our user location context, right? The one which we define. Okay, let me bring down this like this. Okay, perfect. Now we have user location and set user location. If you want to print it here, so let's console it and just use this user location like this. Okay, and I will remove this console from here. The dot location user location is want to print here. If I increase the screen size, okay, and let me refresh the screen. I don't know why it's not showing. Let me index.js showing 19. Okay, so here, right, it's not showing. The reason is we have, because when this user if you get called, right, this user location don't have value. So what I will do, I pass it here like this, and now if I check it, right, if you see, we got the latitude longitude. So what happened, whenever this use if this location get updated, this use effect will get called. Okay, and here we can put some condition, right? If you have the user location, then only execute this get nearby place. Okay, perfect. And now we have user location as well. Now with the help of user location, just replace this one. Okay, so let me check what are the field name, latitude and longitude. Okay, so I will replace this with, sorry, with user location dot latitude, right? And then another is user location dot longitude. Okay, don't know what the name I gave. It's not. It's LNG. So it need to be LNG. Okay, and now save it. And now I'm getting my nearby place result, right? The previously also I was using the same coordinates, the current my current coordinate, but in the API we are getting the my current latitude and longitude, right? So if you change the address, obviously it will give you some different value. Okay, so this is how you can use the get use the code to get this location user location, and obviously we need latitude and longitude. And we also learn how to use context. Right now you don't need to define or call that particular line of code, just you have to access this context with the help of use context, and you can access your context anywhere throughout the application. Okay, this is the beauty of context. If you did any doubt, any question, let me know in the comment section. I'm happy to help you. Now we will display the Google map on the screen. Okay, so we are going to use this particular library called React Google Maps slash API. Okay, and it's quite easy to use. So first of all, just copy this line of command and go to your project and install this particular dependency. Okay, so Google also recommended this particular library. Okay, in order to use the Google Map in the React. Now once we install, right, if you scroll down here, they mention how to use it, right, the use case and the simple example. So it's quite easy, as I told you, right? Now before that, go to your application, and here in the components we will create a new component called Google Map. Okay, and I will do underscore dot js. Okay, because this Google Map also has the same dependency called Google Maps, that's the reason. And save it. Now add the default template, okay, like this, and save it. Now use this Google Map means we have to import that in our Google Map section. Okay, so if you come down here, we have this Google Map section, and import it here. Okay, means add this component, make sure to import that component and save it. Now if you go back to our application, if you see, the Google Map underscore is displaying on the screen. Now if you see this documentation, right, the same way we are going to implement. So if you go to this Google Map, let me remove this one, and then we will replace it with this code. Before that, let's add the container style. Okay, so here I will add the container style. Then see dummy latitude and longitude I will add. Then after that we will replace with our own users one. Okay, and then I will add this load script. Okay, so just copy this load script and paste it inside here. Make sure to import all this from the Google Map API, right? If you see, the Google Map and load script is we are importing from this Google Map slash API. Okay, so this is very important. And this Google Map API key we have to replace with our own API key. So here just add uh, here you have to write process.env dot next name. Let's copy this name. So environment variable, right? We'll copy this name and paste it here. Okay, and I think everything look good. Let's save it and let's try whether we are getting the map or not. And if you see, we got the map, right? How easily we implemented this particular functionality, right? So if you have any question on this one, let me know in the comment section. And right now, if you see, right, we have this center, right? The center is nothing but this latitude longitude. That's the reason it's coming somewhere here, right? If I change the zoom size, right, if I say 20 and save it, it will zoom more inside, right? I put 10. This is the, I think, best way to show uh, the map, right? Now another thing, right, we will do, we want this corner to be rounded, right? So in the container style, right, we have this container style here. I will add border radius. Okay, and I will say 20. If I save it, you see it's work, right? If I increase size right now, if you see, right, the we want this particular um, map to be full screen, right? So in order to do that, we first we will set this width to be 100%, and I will set map to 500 and save it. And if you see, we are seeing the map as well. Okay, perfect. And obviously if I change the screen size, right, see, it automatically come at the down, right? Perfect. So if you have any question regarding this one, let me know in the comment section. Next we will add the user's location. Okay, so right now we are centering with this dummy data, but once we got the user location, it will automatically show the user location by default. Okay, now in order to use the user's location, obviously we're going to use our uh, define context, right? So define constant user location comma set user location is equal to use context, right? And the context name we have to provide, so in this case is user location context, right? Now we have this user location and set user location. So from this user location we will set latitude and longitude. Okay, so before that, what we can do, I will wrap this Google map with this user location, right? Once we have user location, then only we will show this Google map. Okay, and let me do it like this, otherwise show null. Okay, or you can replace this null instead of the loader. Okay, now once we got the user location, we will update this center, right? So here we will add like this, uh, latitude, then we have user location dot latitude, and then we have the longitude, user location dot longitude. Okay, and obviously I think that's enough, right? And let's try to save it. And if you see, it's automatically updated, right? If I refresh the screen, let's see whether it's working properly or not, right? And if you see, right now I'm staying in this area, right? That's the reason it automatically centered to this area. Okay, and now we don't need this center anymore. Okay, perfect. I hope you understand this one, right? You got to know, okay, how to use Google Map and save your location, right? Next, on this particular location, we gonna use user location map, right? Means the marker. So on this, right, we will show some kind of marker that, and with your name, that okay, this is your location. Okay, so we will implement next. Now we will add the marker for the user, right? So it's quite easy. First of all, I will define one new component for the marker. So just type marker.js. Okay, and add the default template. Okay, now we have the marker here, correct? Now first of all, in order to define marker, let's define here like this marker, sorry, marker. And we, if you see, right, we have this marker f, right, from the API. So if you go to the documentation, here you will find this example as well, right? But let me give you this example quickly. Okay, now inside this marker we have to pass some value, right? So first value is position. So here obviously we need to pass either latitude and longitude, right? So there are two way you can pass it from here, okay? Or you can use the context. Okay, so if we get the user location, okay, from the Google map, so let's import this marker inside this one, right? So let's define inside this child component, and I will define marker, and which is importing from this slash marker, which is our component. Okay, and here we have to pass the user location. So pass user location is equal to user location. Okay, and here we are accepting user location. Just add this user location over here. Okay, so this is nothing but the user location we are passing at a position. And then if I save everything, right, if you see, as soon as I save, right, with the help of position is giving this but beautiful marker, right? And this is my current location. That's the reason it's showing like this. Okay, now we got the marker, but what if you want to use your own marker, right? Now I already have this marker, right? Beautiful marker, this one. If you see, right, this marker I'm using. So in order to use your own icon, right, you have to define icon property. Okay, and inside this one you have to define some value. So first of all you have to define url, the url of the particular icon, right? You can use your local image, or you can use the url from the internet, right? So I already have in local, so I will use that one. So just define user location dot png, that is a file name. Okay, and you can also, let's save this one, right? As soon as save, you have to make sure you have to refresh the screen in order to change the effect, because we are directly dealing with the map. So if you see, right, it's too much big, right? And we need to change the side. So there's another property called scale size. Okay? And inside this we have to define the width and height. So you define width of 50 and then height of 50. Okay, and if I make sure to give comma here and save it, now you refresh the screen, and if you see, marker is showing with our own custom icon. Okay, and then you can give some label as well. If I give label and just say you will, I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, yeah, we have to refresh the screen obviously, and then it will show the label like this. Okay, but I don't want to show label, so I will remove it and save it. Okay, and whenever you make the change on this marker or map, you have to refresh your screen, because we are directly dealing with the map. Okay, I hope you understand this beautiful scenario of showing the user location on the map with the marker, with your custom icon. Okay, if you have any question about this one, let me know in the comment section. Now if you know, right, we are fetching our business in index.js, right? And right now we are going to show the marker for all the business which we selected. Okay, so if you go back to our index.js inside these pages, right, here we are fetching the business list, right? And then our marker is in Google component, right? So here we have defined Google component, then we have to pass the business list to the Google component, and from the Google component we again need to pass our business list to this marker component. Okay, and which is quite lengthy process, right? I mean, so from one component to another component to another component, right, like this. So in order to avoid that, we have best way to do it using the context, right? So with the help of context we will do it. So first of all, let's go to the context folder, and let's define new context called business list context. Okay, and inside this business list context we will use this one to store our all the businesses which we are fetching from the internet. Okay, so obviously define the constant business list context is equal to create context. Okay, and default is null. Now our contact is set. We initialize our contact as well. Now let's go to index.js, right? And here we're gonna use our context, right? So first of all, let's define, we already have this business list, right? So we don't need to define the new state. Only thing, obviously, we have to wrap this Google map inside the business list, right? I will wrap all of this component in the provider. So let's define here and just say business list. So if you see, right, it's not coming. The reason is the business list component, we did not export the business list component, right? So here you have to export the business list component, and then you have to define in index.js. So now if you search business list context, it's coming, right, and dot provider in the tag, and just wrap everything in this provider. Okay, so last div, so here I will keep it like this. Okay, and then you have to pass the value, and we have two values. So one is business list, and then for to set the business list, set business list, right, and save it. Now obviously we use this context, right? So throughout the application, any component can access this business list once the business list have some data. Okay, now if you go to this marker, right, let's go to the marker, and here we can access this business list. So constant, obviously we need to use context. So business list in a curly braces, set business list is equal to use context, and our context name is business list context. Okay, now we have the business list. Now obviously once we have the business list, only then we are going to show the all the marker, right? So here uh, we have to iterate with the marker. So before that, I will define business list is there. Okay, and then I will iterate the business list. Okay, so let's say business, and inside this I will define it. Okay, the marker. So let's copy the same marker and paste it here. Only thing we need to change is the position. Okay, so obviously we have to replace this with the exact uh, field name. Okay, so whatever the field name is there, we have to replace it with that one. Okay, so in order to access that, we have business dot geometry dot location. So inside this one we have latitude and longitude. If you want to see this, let me show it to you. Go to the inspect panel and open some business list. I don't know. Oh, yeah, so here we have business list, right? And if you see, we have geometry here, right? Inside geometry we have location, and inside location we have latitude and longitude. And if you see, right, this marker is get placed immediately, right? And right now if you see, we have lot of markers because we have got the 11 businesses. Okay, so what I will do, for our testing, right, in the business I want only first five marker, right? So what I will do, I will add the index here, comma index, and I will add the condition if it's less than is equal to 5, and then only show. So only 5 or 6 marker will go to show. Okay, let's say 4. So if you see 3, 4, 5, 6, one is your own, right? Now all the business marker is showing. Now I will change this pin as well, right? So I want to replace it with the location and save it. No, location is not there. Let me check. Obviously we need to refresh it, but I'm just making sure location pin. Okay, its name is location dash pin. Save it, refresh the screen, and as soon as you refresh the screen, you will get the marker. Okay, see, so we got the 5 marker, right? And all the 5 marker is showing on the screen. Okay, now once we got the marker, right, you if you want to show the name of the user, also name of the place, you can show it, right? That's quite easy. Again, inside this marker, all right, inside this marker you have to define one component called info box, right? Is again, if you see, info box is again importing from this React API. Okay, and here you can define your own information box, right? So obviously you have to pass the position of this one. So it's a position, and obviously you want to see set for the same position of the business, like this. Okay, and here whatever you define, it it will display it on the screen. For example, if you want to define name of the business, this is just write business dot name and save it. Okay, you will see the subway quick trip is coming, right? Now you can give some style and everything else, right? For example, let me add class name. Okay, so I will add the background to be purple 500. Okay, if I set it, if you see the background is coming, right? Then I will also add some padding from 2. One is fine. Then I will add the rounded red medium.
A few minutes later.
So I completed this info box, okay, and I added this styling to this particular background color and everything. Also, in global.css, I give this info box width, okay, so it will be consistent throughout the application. So yeah, and if you let me know, make this sign screen bigger, and if you go to the restaurants, right, you will see the restaurant here like this. If I select the gas station, you will see the gas station as well. Okay, and this is user's current location. I hope you understand, and if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. Now, next we want to center this particular map on the selected business. Okay, if I click on this particular business, okay, then we want to automatically move the map and the center to that particular selected business location. Okay, so for that one, we will gonna create a new context. Okay, and once users click on that particular business, we will save the business selected business in that context, and then we will center the into the map. Okay, so let's go to our application first. Okay, sorry, let me bring this our code. Okay, here. So very first, in the context, right, I will create a new context. So let's call selected business context, need to be context.js. Okay, and obviously we need to add constant, we have to export it, make sure to export it so we can use throughout the application. Constant selected business context is equal to create context. Okay, and the default value is null. Sorry. So our selected business context is initialized. Okay, now let me close everything and let me go to this business list, right? And here if you scroll down, we have this on the click, right, business item, we need to set the selected business context, right? So over here, so very first, I will add the class name and I want to make it cursor pointer when I hover on it, right? So class name and make it cursor pointer. So if I hover on it, right, the cursor pointer is changed. Then here I will add the on click method, right? So for each item, right, means each tag we can apply the on click method, and in on click method we have to set this context, right? Before that, we have to make sure that we will wrap all our components inside the selected business context provider. Okay, so in index.js, go to the index.js. Here, uh, outside of this one we can do it, okay, or inside of, that's it's up to you, but here I can do selected selected okay, let me check whether I saved it or not. Selected business context and I make sure it's exported. Okay, and index.js, so here selected, I don't know why it's not coming. So let me okay, selected business context. Okay, if it's not giving you the suggestion, do one thing, let's import it manually. Okay, so similar to this one, right? So I will copy it here, and here you can just mention selected business context, and it's from selected business context. Okay, and now this selected business context dot provider and then wrap everything inside that one. Okay, so I will add it outside this, and obviously you have to provide the value here, right? Value. So for that, sorry, for this one you have to define one state, right? Some initial state. So here I can define selected business, and here set selected business. Okay, so obviously initially it will be empty. Okay, and just pass it here, selected business comma set selected business. Okay, and now all set. Now go to the business list and here use that context. So constant, then selected business comma set selected business is equal to use context, and inside that we have to use selected business context. Okay, perfect. Now we have this selected business contact and set selected business contact, and now on the click of this particular item, right, particular div, we will set the value. So just set set selected business, right, and then we have to set the value. So in this case is business. That's it, right? Now once we use a click on this, our context will store the business value, right? And as I said before, once you set the value of the context from any component, it will automatically reflect throughout the application. Okay, so in any component it will reflect. Now if I click it, obviously nothing will happen, right? But now what we have to do, we have to in the marker, right? If you go to the not marker but in google map underscore google map.js, we are centralizing this map right here. So if you see here this one, right? So here we have to check if the business is selected, then we have to use business locations, okay, the latitude and longitude. Otherwise we can navigate to the user, or we can centralize to the user's location. Okay, so obviously I have to use the context here. So just write constant selected business comma set selected business is equal to use context, and here you can use selected business context. Okay, now and in selected business, right? So what you can do, uh, so let me, so here we have to write logic. Okay, so if we have selected business, okay, then if business is not selected, we can write, then use this method. Otherwise use selected business contact detail, right? So in this case we can write selected business dot geometry geometry. So let me get the name of it complete. So if you go to the inspect panel, console, and in the business list, open any business list. Okay, and here we have geometry and then location, geometry and then location. Okay, and you can check like this if selected business has a name. Okay, if select business don't have name, then obviously it will send google map will center the user location. Otherwise it will centralize to the business location. Okay, let's test it. I'm not sure whether it come or not, but we can test it. Okay, immediately. So if I click on subway, right, let me go to the gas station. If I Costco, see it's moving, right? If I quick trip, it's moving. Go, let's select the restaurant. If I say quick trip, right? Right now it's too much here. But if I select the Shiki Four Season, see it's changed. If I select Subway, it's coming to Subway. And if you see, right, it's centralized to this particular map, right? If I select the quick trip, it's moving to the quick trip. Okay, so this is how we can use context, and then we can centralize the location depends on the user business selection. Okay, so I hope you understand this one, and if you have any question, any doubt, let me know in the comment section. And we are pretty much close to complete this particular tutorial. But if you have uh, if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. Now let's implement the toast, right? If you go back to our application, right, this is how we want to show it, right? If I click any of this particular business, right, then it will show how many miles it from your location, okay? And if you click on this one, it will navigate with the direction on the Google map. Okay, so this is what we are going to implement now. So obviously, first of all, let's make a new component called business toast. So inside the component folder, so I will create business toast.js, add the default template fc, and we have make sure to import that one. Okay, so what we can do, let's go to index.js because we want to show on a home page, and inside this one we can add it. Okay, so let's add it inside this, and let's say business post. Okay, like this, and make sure to import it and save everything, right? And if you see business toast it here, right? But right now, if you see, right, it's we have to scroll it, or even though if you come here, right, it's coming here, we want it at the corner like this. Okay, so for that one, let's go to business toast, and inside the business toast we can define some classes. So let me find some classes here. Okay, so just say class name. Okay, and we need to make the position to be fixed. Okay, if you say the position to be fixed, it will be at some corner, I don't know where it goes. Okay, but we need at the bottom, say just say bottom, and I want to give margin from the bottom 5 as well, right? And then you can say right, sorry, right to be 5, and I will make the Z index to be like 2030. I like this, right? And if you see, the business touch is showing here. Okay, even though I move this or even though I scroll the screen, the business touch will be remain constant at the bottom. Okay, perfect. Now let's implement the some design for this one. Okay, so very first, let me define one div. At that, I will add the class name. Okay, but before that, let me add the name of the business. If if you see, right, it's here is showing the name of the business. So I will add the h2 tag, and here it will be a business name. Okay, so right now I will just write business name. To that, one more h2 tag for miles, so it's saying 0.9 miles away. Okay, and save it. And next we have the image, not image, but let me add one div, and this is the direction. Okay, so I have the image already, so I will add that image. So let's say image from the next source, and it is in local, so I can get it like this, send.png. Okay, enter it. Let's give some alt tags now, then width I will give 20, height will give 20. Okay, and save it. Now if I go back here, I don't know where it is gone, but it's somewhere here. Okay, now we'll make this as a flex. Okay, and also make it item to be in the center. Okay, flex item to be in the center. Okay, perfect. And let me give some gap, so we some use some gap later on, but until this point we are pretty good. Okay, now let's give some classes to this h2 tag. So let's say class name, and I want font to be semi bold. Okay, and the text to be 20 pixel. Before that, I will also add some class name to this div. Wait, so I want to this one. So let's add background to be purple. I will add 400. See how it looks. Okay, and also give some padding. So add padding of 5. Okay. Make rounded to be 2xl, and let's say give some gap between the this left and this icon like this. Okay, perfect. Now let's give some design to this one, and I will also make the text to be white. Okay, So let's make the text white, and I will make this text as also white. So last name text white, like this, perfect. And let me give some styling to this one button. So class name purple, I will give background to 200, then I will give some padding to be 5, rounded some excel. Okay, let's do white, too white, so let me make it dark. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and on hover, right, I want to make it change. Right now if you see, right, it doesn't feel like a button. So if I hover on it, I will scale the size of this particular icon to maybe 105. Okay, and for smooth animation I will add the transition all. Okay, and make cursor pointer so look like a button. If I see, it's perfectly working fine. Okay, so we pretty much done with this toast, right? Now what you have to do, first of all, let's get the selected business, whether user selected business or not. So we already have the context, right? So that's the reason we can use the context. We don't need to pass the data from one component to other. That's where the context comes, right, and which help us a lot. So here we can say selected business, comma set selected business is equal to use context, and here you can say selected business context. Okay, now you have selected business context, and now here you can write the condition as well. Okay, that if business is selected or not. So what I can do, I can write one, I will make it little simplify. Okay, so let's say, just say constant. Okay, there are different way you can do that. First of all, okay, so here, I'm sorry, I will define empty tag. Okay, because I want to write one condition, and here I can write if selected business dot name is there. Okay, then obviously show this toast, otherwise don't show it. Okay, and save it. And right now the business is selected. Let me refresh it, right? And if you see, the toast is not showing, right? If I select the business, right, that time toast is showing, right? If I select subway, obviously it's showing. Now we have to replace business name and the distance. So first of all, let's replace this business name. So I will replace the business, oh sorry, it's selected business, right? Selected business dot name, and save it. So as soon as you save, you got the subway. If I click on quick trip, it will change to quick trip. If I click on Papa John's, it will change to Papa John's. Okay, good. Next, we have to calculate distance, right? Now there are a couple of ways you can do that. You can call the API and then you can calculate the distance, right? But sometimes I feel it's a little complicated. So that I search it on in the internet how to calculate distance between these 2 points, right? If you have latitude and longitude, then how to calculate the distance. So I found one logic to find it, right? So let me show it to you. So I already I already copied it. Okay, let me paste it here. Let me explain it, right? So it's calculating distance, right? So it check whether first it will take latitude and longitude of 1 point. Okay, so we can call a source and then latitude longitude of the destination. Okay, I'm just printing that out, and there is some logic here. Okay, so if you want to check, you can check it out. The source is in the description, and I'm just passing this latitude longitude, and this logic is taking care of everything, and then it will return the value. But obviously for that one, first of all you have to pass the user's location as well as the business location, right? We have the business location, we need the user's location, right? Now obviously we have the context, we can use that one. Okay, otherwise right now I use the business toast here, right? It's direct when it's only one component pass information kind of thing, right? So I will just pass it here like user's location is equal to user location, right? Because it's quick thing, means it's just parent to child. Okay, and once I save it, I will just accept it here like users user location. Now I have user location and I have business location as well. So I will use usefake this, and I will pass the selected business here because I want to execute this use effect whenever the businesses get selected, right? And then I will also call, I will just execute this one if the selected business is available, right? Means if the selected business has some name, obviously mean name will be there once the user select the business, that time only name will come, right? Then only execute this calculate distance. Okay, this method will execute that time only, and then let me pass this value. I will just copy paste it, okay, and paste it here. So it has a selected business latitude, longitude, and then users location latitude and longitude, okay, and save it. And one more thing we missed, that we need to set the distance. So I will make constant distance comma set distance is equal to use state, and in this one we will set the distance. So here I already define it here like this, and then we will replace the zero point 0.9 with the actual distance which we calculated. If I save it, okay, now if you see, we did not select any business right now, it's not showing any, okay. But if, as soon as I select, for example, if I select the first one, right, it's calculate the distance. If I select subway, it's calculate distance, see, 1 mile away. If I select quick trip, it's calculating the distance 0.9 mile away. Okay, select the restaurant, okay, I already select the this one, right, quick trip. For example, select Costco, we have zero point 0.5 mile away, quick trip zero point 0.9. Okay, so the distance is quite working perfectly fine. Okay, next, on the button click of this navigation, we want to navigate to the URL, right? So that also very much interesting. Let me show you. So I will create a new method called constant on direction, column on direction click method. Okay, and here we have to open new window with the Google Maps. So just write window dot open, right? And one so in this window dot open, you just need to pass the URL of the link which you want to open on the new browser. Okay, so that link you have to pass it. But along with that, we have this link, Google Map link, right? But along with that, you can pass some other variable. Okay, so I already have that. I will copy it here. Okay, so here, so this is the link. Okay, so Google Map direction API is equal to 1, and the origin, it means from where you want to start. So origin is user location, so I'm passing latitude on longitude. Then we have to pass the destination coordinates. So destination coordinates is selected business latitude and the selected business longitude. And then you can pass the travel mode, right? So it's right now I'm by default passing driving, but you can pass cycling, bicycling, walking kind of thing, right? It's up to you. And then this on direction click you have to call on this particular div. Okay, so I will add on click and just pass it here like this. Okay, and save it. Now right now quick trip is selected. If I click on it, right, if you see new Google Map is open, and then you got the map direction. So this is my home location and it's showing it here like this, right? Let's try for the different example. For example, let's say Costco. If I select Costco, it's showing zero point 0.4 mile. If I get direction, you open new window, or see the mile is little bit different, but it's pretty much good, right? If it's you are looking for good bigger distance, and if you see, you got the distance and the direction as well. So this is how it works, right? One more thing, right now, right, if I select, you don't know which one you selected, right? So what you can do, if you go to the business, maybe me list, okay, so in the business list you can add here some method, right, some classes. So you can just change the background. For example, uh, so it called dynamic classes you can apply. Okay, so if I want to apply the dynamic Tailwind CSS classes, define the classes like this. Okay, let me remove this one, and whatever the classes you want to define, you can define in dollar, then double curly braces, and you have to write the condition. What is the condition? So in this case I will say selected business dot name is true. If it is true, then I want to change the background to be purple 200. Okay, and if it falls, then don't show anything and save it. Let's test this one. Oh, so right now if you see, right, selected business class name is purple 200. So okay, so here is thing, right? We not just want to select a business name, and we have to check the selected business name is equal to user's business name or business dot name. Let's try this one. And you see, I select the Costco, it's showing Costco. If I select quick trip, it's changed to quick trip, right? Just add some more styling. Okay, for example, I will make rounded full, not full, but pixel. Perfect. See how beautiful it's looking. So I will just make 100, not too much. Okay, if I select this one, select this one. See, okay, so it's up to you how you want to show it on the screen. Okay, so or you don't want it, it's up to you. Okay, so I hope you understand this particular section, and if you have any question, any doubt, let me know in the comment section. So one more thing I implemented already, and you can access it through the source code. The functionality is the searching, right? From the search, if I search anything, right, for example, if I want to search Walmart and if I click enter, obviously I am getting this nearby Walmart, right? And if I click it, everything working as expected, right? Let me show you how I implemented this one. Okay, so uh, I created one API under this API folder, right? The similar like nearby which we already did it. I created another one for the Google search. Okay, and the endpoint is this one, find place from text, and I'm passing the input value which is what we are going to search, and the similar like latitude and longitude. Okay, and passing the API key as well, and then it's return the response. Now, once we define this API, right, in global api.js, I am calling that particular API using Axios. Okay, and just passing the required field and make sure to import it. Okay, then in search bar component, right, I'm calling this search bar on the click of this enter, right? If you remember, we already defined this method, right? And instead of console log, I just replace with this search place with it means with our method. Okay, and in this method we are using it, and it you are setting the business list because we are getting the business list, okay, from these candidates, and then we are setting with the business list. So obviously we are defining this context. Okay, so because of we are defining the context here, and when we are updating the business list, it updating throughout the application. Okay, and from the user location we are getting the coordinates for the user location to send latitude and longitude to this search place API, and this is how we are setting the search. Okay, so I hope you understand this one. And let me show you now another example. If I want to search Costco, okay, search it, you'll see the Costco here, right? What else you want to search? Let's try Coles. Okay, so I don't know, yeah, Coles. And if I search it, you got the Coles as well. Wow. Okay, if I have MACD, I don't know. Yeah, it's showing MACD as well. Perfect. It's nearby MACD. Okay, perfect. Now, one more thing we want to update in our application, right? So whenever the screen size is smaller, means then we want to show this map at the top. Okay, and this we want to bring it down. But if the screen size is medium or larger, then obviously we want the map on the right hand side. Okay, so how to do it, right? And if you go to write CSS some logic, it's quite be hard. The simplest way we can do with the help of Tailwind CSS. So if you go to the index.js, and we put this our map on this particular div, right? And obviously we use the grid in order to show this map and everything. So for this div, you can just write some styling. So that's define class name. And when the screen size is smaller, you can just write first first order. Okay, sorry, not first order, this order, and just write first order first. Okay, and if I save it, it will look like this, right? But obviously, we want this on the right hand side, right? Once the screen size is bigger, then you can define like if the screen size is medium or larger, obviously, then we want order last. Okay, so we have option called order last, and if I save it now, right? So right now screen size is smaller, that's why you can able to see on the top, but as soon as I make the screen size is bigger, it's showing on the right, right? Let me show you on the spec panel, and if I see how quickly it moves, right? You don't need to do any logic, you don't need to write any logic for that one. So this is how it works. If I click on any business, so see how beautifully it works, right? So it's fully screen optimized, right? So it depends on your screen size, you can do it. Another thing, right, if I select any of this one, right, because right now we are not going to implement for this favorite one. Okay, so that's you can try it at your home, but right now the selection is not there, right? So what you can do, let's go to the navigation bar, and depends on the selection we want to make it active, right? So for this particular, not a SVG, but you can do it here, right? So just wrap this in a circular bracket and then add the tag like this. So, okay, and let me remove this tag. So this is what we are doing dynamically, right? We want to do it dynamically. So okay, so I don't want it here, but that's fine. We want to apply some styling to this icon actually. So wrap this in curly braces, then this tag. Let me remove this, I don't want double quote. Okay, so here you can write dollar sign. Okay, and inside dollar you can write the condition. Okay, so you can write if index is the current index is equal to active index, right? So we have to define active index state match, then you can say the active one, right? So the active one is right now, I don't know which one, but let's say text to be purple, so it need to be in a code. Okay, text purple 500, and then background purple 300, make it 100, I don't want 300. Okay, like this, and if it's not, then make it null. And let's define the active index, obviously. So at the top I will define constant active index is equal to uh, set active index, wrap this in a bracket, is equal to use state. Okay, and we don't have any active index, make it 0 for now. Okay, and if you see it's coming the icon, right? We also want background. Okay, so it's need to be purple actually, purple 300. Okay, save it, and if you see it's working perfectly fine, right? Active index is this one, but we have to put on click method as well, right? So here I will put on click, I will just set the active index, so just set active index and the current index. If I click on this one, it will be active index. If I click this one, it will be active index. Okay, so this is the quick thing I want to tell you. So guys, that's all for this particular course. I hope you enjoy it and you like it. If you really like it, please like button. And if you are new on my channel and if you did not subscribe to my channel, please do subscribe. Next, in next video I'm gonna come with a new course and it will be very interesting. Okay, and obviously this course is quite important for your resume when you are giving any interview. Getting to know the, okay, you know how to use the Google Map, you know how to use the different types of functionality in Google Map, how to search places with the help of Google Map, how to use Next.js, React, the context, the state management, and lot of things. It's quite important, and definitely this particular course will give you a definitely job for you. Okay, and as I say, right, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. I'm happy to help you. And you can join my Instagram channel, you can join my Telegram channel. And yeah, see you in the next video.